Hello everyone. Today we will be seeing what is retesting. So retesting itself specifies in the name that we are rechecking a particular scenario or retesting a particular scenario. Whenever a QA team is executing the test cases and some of the test cases are failing, the failed test cases are raised as bugs, and when the bugs are fixed and redeployed to the test environment, the team is retesting the scenarios or retesting the failed scenarios. So that particular step is called retesting. So here if we see the definition, retesting is a re-executing the scenario or test cases which was failed due to introduced bug in software under test. After the bug is fixed, the new build is deployed on the test environment with latest fixes, and post that we will be retesting the same scenario once again. So just to demonstrate an example, if we take this UI, this is a very basic UI. So here I have two input fields and one submit button. So in some of the application you might see that if you enter first name, the submit button is not enabled. To enable the submit button or to submit the action, you need to enter both the required fields, that is the first name and last name. So in such cases, your test condition would be that user needs to enter first name and last name, and then only submit button is enabled. But it might happen that when the application is under development phase, once the user has entered the first name or the last name, still the button is enabled, which is a wrong scenario or not as per the acceptance criteria in that case. So in such situations, you will raise a bug for this scenario, and once the bug is fixed, you will retest it. I have couple of test cases. So here if you see that verify that user is able to enter first name in the first name info box field, then same for the last name, we have these test cases and we are making these test cases as passed. But for this test case, verify that submit button is enabled when first name and last name is entered. This will fail because even after entering first name only, the submit button is enabled. So here we have an AND condition. After entering both the fields only, the submit button will be enabled. But in this case, it is enabled even if user enters only one field. So we will make this test case as failed, and the other one also be a failed test case, because if you see the description, verify that submit button is disabled when only one name or last name is entered. This case will also fail. So in this scenario, you will raise a bug. Then once the bug is fixed and deployed to your test environment, you will retest both the scenarios. Earlier you have tested this scenario and you have raised a bug because these were not working as acceptance criteria. But now as new build has deployed, you will retest the both scenarios and you will make these test cases as pass, for example. So what we are doing in this case is that we are not testing all the four test cases. We are just testing those failed test cases which were not working as per the acceptance criteria. Yeah, that's all about retesting. Thanks everyone.